Da, 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 da. All right, I am here. I am slower than normal, and I will explain that in a second. I do not think Instagram is working again, but we will figure this out. Instagram says, nope, no life. Just, nope, it does say live. Da, 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 da. And it's still showing up as black. Hold on 1 second. It won't even let me comment on it. Da, 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 da. Okay, we're gonna have to out on Instagram because it's not working at all. Da, da, da. I'll have to do something for them later. Good morning, everybody. I'm a little slower than normal. I ended up last week, Chris was sick and he lovingly shared his bug with me. It wasn't actually too bad for me, which is good. I managed to kind of take all my vitamins and supplements and things and kind of get over it in a reasonable amount of time. And then at some point I rolled over in bed, because apparently I am now this old, pulled a muscle in my abdomen groin-ish area, and I was healing that and it was doing great, and then I sneezed and just destroyed it the other day, and then again this morning it was healing a little bit, sneezed again, and I'm kind of limping around a little bit. I actually have my belly, ouch, it hurts to do that too. I have my belly entirely wrapped up in horse bandage to kind of stabilize the area, so I will be moving very slowly today and probably resting quite a bit. Taking some time to just let my poor muscle heal. I've never done something quite like that before, so I was wondering at one point if I needed to go to the hospital or what the heck was going on. It's in the same area that I actually have an incision from my appendix being removed, so I'm kind of wondering if there's some scar tissue adhesion that's kind of attached to the wrong thing, and it ripped it the wrong way and it made it very sad. So yeah, moving a little slower, stream's a little later, and we are keeping it kind of quiet today, so I'm gonna try not to laugh too much, because laughing and sneezing and moving my belly all hurts a lot. So good morning, Amy. We have Cindy, good morning. Teresa, good morning. Andrea, good morning. Brenda says good morning. Haley says good morning. Haley's crazy. Haley's working on 5 bajillion ponies to get them ready for Briar West, which is incredible. Don't be so hard on yourself, girl. You need to just get done what you can get done. That's all you can do. Don't ruin your whole experience of going to Briar West by freaking out about getting ponies done. Good morning, Jerry. We have Teresa, Cootie Queen. Get the cootie crown. I did not fracture a rib. It's lower than my rib. It's kind of in the same area where my appendix was, and a little bit lower, and it goes sometimes into my leg and then sometimes all the way up to my belly button. So I'm assuming there's a muscle in there that I just made really angry. Because if it was something more urgent and I herniated something, I imagine I would be sicker than I am, and probably in more pain than I am. Yesterday was a little bit sketchy at a couple points, but it's much better today in general than it was yesterday, but still I need to kind of keep it low key. We have Holly, good evening and good morning. Haley says, I must get all the ponies done. I know that feeling. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm working on. Speaking of whole bunch of stuff, you can see the biter army kind of behind me. There's a whole bunch of them in various positions, which is actually kind of fun to see them on bases, off bases, and laying in different ways. I did get my own copies of Scuttle in, so you can see Scuttle's hanging out right here. He came from Jen and Tom Ulp, so you guys, a whole bunch of you guys got your Scuttles well before I got mine. Look at how cute he is. He's so long and leggy. I actually found, I can show you maybe in a minute, a really cute reference in Appaloosa for him, so I might do my own copy in Appaloosa. But they did a great job in cleaning the castings. They're really nice. Their castings are always nice, so at this point it's just expected that they're gonna do awesome things. I did get some mail. I have some cool toys for customizing and tack making that I wanted to show you guys, because I went to the hobby shop a couple weeks back and I meant to show you last time, but we weren't here last time. I have a little bit of information about the new Medallion Club medallion that I will give you guys. Just little baby spoilers before I start putting pictures up. These stickers should be here Monday or Tuesday, it looks like from the tracking. So that's exciting. And then there is a sticker app sale, which is where I normally order most of my stickers from, that is on holographic sticker stock. So your next sticker might be in holographic stock. This one's actually in just normal vinyl. I know, I think it's the first one maybe ever for the club that is in just normal vinyl, because I figured there's people that really like the realistic stuff and they don't always want the fancy stickers and all the crazy stuff. It's quite large. It's a 4-inch sticker, and I think you guys will enjoy the subject matter. It is realistic to go with the realistic sticker stock. I have a couple. I showed you a butt last time for our Pony Fest, Briar Fest lineup, and hinted that we might do a little Bumblebutt full sculpture. So that is on my roster. I've been doing a whole bunch of the planning. There's a couple more ponies for you to meet, which is exciting. There's one in particular that I think you guys are going to get really excited over because it's really cute. And I'm going to throw in a couple of more realistic ones into the mix as well. So kind of cartoony horses more than they are Pokemon type themed ones, just for some balance to how that's going to go. I'm going to try and have some realistic stickers in the lineup so a little bit more realistic than the average, and I think that will be fun. I have a really cool design in the works for some other things, so all of the things. Let's see. Skeetle Bomb. Scoodle Boots. Yeah, I hope it's not a hernia. I was poking around in there and I can't feel anything sticking out, and generally if you've herniated something bad enough, you vomit, and I'm not vomiting. I don't know. Safe to say I'm not doing much exciting other than sitting down and working. I was actually laying on the couch, and I have a really cool stand for my iPad that hooks onto it and it cranes and wheels around. So I was actually laying on the couch with that craned over top of me doing designs. It was resting. Don't give me too hard of a time. So yeah, I can take pictures of everybody all together because I have a Juggy and I have, maybe I should do it all unpainted because that would make more sense. And then I can do them all scuttling around together. Scuttle, I had actually a whole bunch of the biters kind of lined up and they were all going rawr, and then all the scuttles were going ee and scattering everywhere. I should have taken a picture. It was really cute. Maybe I'll set that up again because it was so fun. Let's see. I want to get my biter done as a Pegasus and my scuttle, but done as a unicorn Pegasus to go with the Juggy unicorn. Yes, I saw your Juggy, Brenda. That's so exciting. She got the one that, was it Jen Scott that customized him? I can't remember. Remind me in the comments who that was that customized him. But it's a unicorn. He's got the lion tail and it's kind of doing cool stuff. I wish I had that lined up. But yeah, in the comments, let us know. What should I get to first? We are on batch lobster with a couple of exceptions for biters, and I believe all of you got your address confirmations for those going out, and that would be most of the ones that are sitting behind me here. Lots and lots of ponies on the table. Most of the ones that are going out with bases, and I think Zoya is in this order, which is exciting because she's been waiting for a bit, and she's painting things for other people, which is really cool. So that means we get to see more painted soon. Let's see what else I got. I can show you stickers that came in this week. So there's Gummy Pony and Gummy Pony. So Bryn is now doing non-horse stickers for a lot of what she's going to be sending out because she's a little burnt out with the whole pony thing. So here is a adorable little kind of pastel tie-dye bunny. And then I got from Paint Pony Studios this really, you can kind of see, there's a better shot of it. It's got a really cool metallic brushed aluminum type base, and it is a really fun kind of punky looking hippocampus, as it says, "I do not like your light." There we go. So you can see the sheen on it. And I really like the tail. Looks like a lotus to me, which I quite enjoy. So for all of you tack makers out there, or people that enjoy tiny things, I found this at the hobby shop the other day. So it is a rivet maker is what the intended use is by Master Tools. And it has a couple of different sizes of discs. And it is in not English, but that is okay. We do not need the English to understand the premise. So it is a little roller, and on that little roller, there's the tiniest little teeth on it. Come on, you can focus. It's like, I see your eyes. I will not focus. So that's probably reasonable size for almost maybe stablemate. They're the tiniest little rollers, and it's nice because you can roll and make your marks in clay or in leather without having to worry about having to keep them in line, because a lot of times people use the tip of a needle and just go tick, 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 tick. So there's other size discs that you get with it that my camera says I do not think so. Focus a little. Just try for me, camera. No. Okay. It's like not even thinking about it. So trust me when I say that they're different sizes. So there'd be one that's a little better for traditional, one maybe a little bit better for classic, one that's almost good enough for stablemate, because it's... Now I only have the big ones. Really, really tiny. So that can be used in clay even. So if you're a sculptor and you're wanting to put the little rivets and stuff. Super, super handy to find things like that. And I love finding things that are repurposable from other hobbies. That's the bigger one. And so they just pop in there and pop off, and it's kind of neat. And then speaking of things for other hobbies, I've seen people using, let's see, this is by Mr. Hobby, which is a great brand that a lot of people use for Gundam figures and a whole bunch of other areas of the train hobbies, different things. It is another Asian company, so most of the writing you're not going to be able to read. And people will back convert, and I've seen this for a while, where they'll take a electric toothbrush and they actually just strip the top off of it and then attach by glue or Velcro a little piece of spongy sandpaper. So you can get the sandpaper that is sponge backed, or there's sandpaper that's silicone backed, which I really quite like because it's flexible and really, really strong. And this allows you to, because it oscillates, sand and polish things and kind of get into grooves because it's got the little foamy back on it, which is quite nice. It's kind of loud, which isn't too bad. You can get different heads for it, so you can have, say, 3 different heads with the different grits on them. This particular one actually comes with the cutout pads already for it, so you can take, and they just pull right off, and then you'd stick them on because they have adhesive on the back. This one's kind of used because I was testing it out. You can see it's all covered in crud. So it's more for polishing at this point, but it's basically you get a little sheet like this, and all the little circles are pre-cut, and you can buy those to refill it if you want, or put your own grit on it, whatever you'd want to do. I could take this, strip this off, take a chunk of this, put it on there, or if I didn't want the backing on it, I could use just normal sandpaper and stick that on. Doesn't need to have the foam on it. That just means that it's not going to be able to go around curves very well. It actually helped quite a bit. I was playing with it with the biters in some of the spots to just polish up where the seams are, and seems to work really good. It's something that I've wanted to try for quite some time. It just takes 2 double A's. Yeah. So those are easily changeable. You could use any electric toothbrush. So if you wanted to go on a used site like Garage Sale or Kijiji or whatever you've got, or go to a discount bargain place or a thrift shop, they might have someone's used toothbrush, or if you know somebody throwing out a toothbrush, you can steal it from them. A lot of them actually will charge versus having the batteries in them, so then you can just set it to charge it and then swap out your own head on it. So yeah, that's super fun. I also found What else did I find? There's a really cool product that I found for airbrushing. It's like a silly putty, and you use it for blocking off areas when you're like masking off areas when you're airbrushing, and then you can airbrush on top of it and then reuse it basically indefinitely. As long as it's not a color that'll stain, you could probably use any silly putty, really. And then there's water-based versions that actually do dry out. The one that I found is black, and it's pretty fine. I don't know if there's a difference. I haven't obviously experimented with things to see if there's a difference between stuff, but yeah, super fun. I like going into hobby shops and poking around being like, what could I use all these things for? Because cross-pollinating from different hobbies is the best thing ever. You get a really good idea of other things that you can do that we might not, because we kind of get niches, and this is how you do stuff. And then I wanted to show you guys this because I got this, well, not this one in the mail, but one of them in the mail. We have this from July, August last year. If you're in Canada, there's the Canadian Model Express, and it has a whole bunch of really cool stuff inside the actual magazine. And then for, I think it's $30 a year for a membership, or $35 Canadian a year, and you get the hard copies. It's a little bit less if you don't want the hard copies of it, and it lists all the, so there's Prairie Ponies Live, which we had, talks about, this one I was actually featured in as a featured artist, so it'll talk about different breeds, some tack making stuff, showing things, let's see, naming conventions. This one's got some information on bridles and headstalls and how that works. There was one on a really cool braiding technique the other day, and then strategic showing, how to set up your documentation. So if you're in Canada, I think even if you're not in Canada, you can probably join up. It's kind of cool to have, I like physical copies of things, so it's kind of nice to be like, oh, that's a thing. And then they always put a new cover photo on there. So CME for Canadian Model Express, and then &R on Facebook is the group that kind of manages all the Canadian subscriptions. And Bobby Mosiman and Val Ganzert are the ones that kind of run it now. It's definitely really cool. So let's see. Ooh, we have Ellen. Hello, Ellen. Grabby hands. What else do we got? Becky Turner customized him. Oh, okay, so that Becky Turner customized Brenda's really awesome Juggernaut. Let's see if I can find that thing here. I'm gonna show you guys. Did anybody get their Bolero? There he is. So I'll show you that first. All right. Oh, so he sold out in 7 hours, which is pretty crazy considering with Teddy, it took him, he didn't actually sell out. So, or Honey Bear, sorry. I don't know why I'm thinking Teddy, because Bear probably. Super excited that I was able to get not 1, but 2. I've had a really, really bad string of luck with flaws, so I hedged my bets by grabbing more than 1. And I kind of have 2 Steins, so apparently I need 2 Boleros, and I have maybe more than 2 Firehearts. So, and I have 2 of the Stableleys, because there's a head variation, which I should actually show you guys. Hold on 1 second. Somebody was asking about it the other day. Slow moving. So this, and just to prove that I'm not totally messing with you guys, if I put them down, you'll be able to see it easier. So, and if I swap you back to the main screen, see how one's head is tucked way more than the other? And they're both on flat, well, flat-ish ground there. There you go. So there's actually a couple, I've seen one, they had a Helios that had its head way up, but I haven't actually seen it in the wild yet. The one has his head really tucked, and this is no customization. This is as he came from Briar. And then the other one has a normal head. So there are variations out there, which is super exciting, because I don't know how they're messing with them now and how they make the molds that the head would get that tucked, but it's pretty tucked comparatively. So I think it's kind of neat. It's quite apparent from my side. But you could see it when it was on the flat, how much that made a difference. So I have 2 of those. I don't have 2 Helioses though. I only have 1 of him. So let's flip you back over here. So yeah, Bolero. Hopefully everybody that wanted one pretty well got one. He was up for a lot longer than we had anticipated he would be. So I know it was really kind of not the best timing. A lot of people were saving for Briar West. We just bought our Briar Fest tickets, and obviously it's just not long after Christmas. I saw a whole bunch up on eBay, most of them for about double what he was cost. To get him here was $100, so somebody charging 125-ish US as the base price isn't terrible. That's kind of how the hobby is. There's a huge section of the hobby that is resale, and that's just kind of how it is. So you gotta be fast if you want the ponies for not markup. Yeah, so he's sold out now and retired. They switched that the other day. We have no new other things from them really that I can think of. He's kind of the newest, most exciting thing. I'm sure that we'll have some stuff from them soon, because I think there's, what are we, February, March, we might get. I think they've got the premier horses more on track, and they're doing them earlier so that they can have them shipped and have them ready so that there's not the delay. It did take their lead time to get molds made and everything cast and everything painted and shipped back is quite a long lead time. So understanding that with their general process of how things have been delayed for the last couple of years, it takes a while to get that advanced enough so that they can have everything come on time again without any other crazy interruptions. Plus, it's all a huge amount of cash flow. You have to have a lot of money. The molds, I think I was told at one point, and this wasn't a recent number, so I don't know, it might have gone up quite a bit, I don't know, was $50,000 US per mold, and they're usually running more than 1 mold per sculpture, I would imagine. I can't imagine that they would use just 1 mold, because then it takes forever to get those horses out, because you can only cast so many times into that 1 mold. Whereas if you have a whole bunch of molds, you can do a whole bunch at a time. I wanted to show you guys the really giant horse neck on my screen. Isn't it amazing? Oh, why is my computer doing this? It is not wanting to show me pictures. So, look, it's Turbo Face. See, it's doing that. It's saying there's nothing to see here. So I'll show you the baby quick before the baby runs away. That would make... Ah! Why? Why you do this? Where'd it go? That would make a really adorable scuttle. And nice long neck, nice long legs, little foofy tail, tiny little head. I think that'd be cute. Look at him. Actually, he's going that way, so it would work really well. So now that my computer's decided that it'll keep the photo up there. Oh, no, now it's saying no. I don't want to play. Did I have anything else to show you in regards to that? Oh! The new Medallion Club medallion. I'm not going to give you visual spoilers yet. The spoilers will go up on the page soon here. We're starting to get them all cast. They're coming out really good. It is giant. And by giant, I mean it is 8 inches. Just a hair over 8 inches. So, as big as my face, basically. Which is crazy. So this right here is 8 inches. So it is from this line to that line. That is my whole head. It is larger than normal. I got a little excited. There's a lot of hair, and it barely fits in the Medallion Club box because the Medallion box is like 10 inches long. So it's huge. It is going to be so fun to paint. I'm super excited. It's the People's Choice one, so you guys voted on what it was, and it was the popular choice for all the categories that ended up winning out, and you guys are going to be super excited. So it is 8 inches, so my head by just over 5 inches. So it's about the size of my head, because that's 5 inches right where my finger is. So your medallion's the size of my face. Hopefully you guys like it. It's taking almost... it's more resin than Tux. And Tux was big. It is larger than Tux. Tux was big. Oh, he was almost as big, but not quite. And it is probably double the... just under double the average for what the medallions normally are for resin. So it's like an extra bonus because I'm not charging you guys any extra for making ridiculously large medallions. Although, fair warning, I might need to tone it down for the next one and make it a little on the smaller side. Because this one it got away from me a little bit. Yep. That is height and width. So 8 inches by 5 inches. It is my face. Size of my face, which is pretty big. Got a big head. Raven's face is the new measurement system. Yep. I just cast my face. That would be hilarious. You guys get a box and it's just me going, hi. Be a little bit bigger if I had my mouth open, because my mouth open would be another like couple inches. Anyway, I'll be looking for Stein. He's starting to get a little bit more reasonable, and hopefully we see a regular run at some point soon. Sally's getting her first fire heart in Bolero. Got hers immediately. Very cool. Need the sander for clearware customs. Yeah, it's handy for sure. What else do we got going on? Regret not grabbing a scuttle. So there will be more scuttles. What we're doing is we're getting through what was pre-ordered at Briarfest, and because I know not everybody was able to order the baby at Briarfest last year, is once we're done with all the pre-orders, and it is... So all these sculptures are really hard to get photos of because they're really dynamic. Like, you can see how his little leggies kind of go all over the place. And my light's like, no, I don't let you do the thing. So his little legs go everywhere. He's supposed to be kind of a newer baby, and he's scrambling. His legs aren't working, and he's like, I need to get out of here. And he's pressure cast, but we will have some available after we ship these pre-orders. I'm going to open it back up because there's people on the biter list that weren't able to order a baby that wanted to, and I know there's people that didn't even know he existed because there was so much going on during Briarfest last year, and I didn't advertise very well because I'm not very good at the advertising thing to have them. And there is swag that comes with them, but I don't have any because I didn't ask Jen to send me any. So I'm going to have to ask her to send, and then I'll show it when I get it. There's a sticker of him that's glitter-backed, which is super fun, and he's got his certificate with a colored version of him on it, which is really cute, and he comes with treats and all sorts of good stuff. So yeah, there'll be more of those guys at some point once we're done shipping all the pre-orders. I want to get through all those, and then we'll revisit it. The people that had ordered Biter have a coupon code for $10 off when it reopens, and I've finally put stickers on the cards that I ordered from last time because I didn't realize, for whatever, I was so excited about the concept of putting a little card in there saying that she was expecting a foal as a surprise that I didn't actually remember that would expire for Briarfest because it says expecting for Briarfest, and the foal was loading, and then it had the code on the back, and it was confusing people that it's not Briarfest, like it was released at last Briar. So I put stickers over some of the stuff to kind of clear it up, that there will be more available at some point soon, and then to check the website to find out what his information is, more pictures, more info. So yeah, that's a lot. So hopefully that clears things up. I should have done the stickers sooner, so I apologize to anybody who's gotten one recently and was confused as heck, because why is there a card in here that says for Briarfest? Although the timing might actually line up that that's when we reopen the edition is for Briarfest, so see. Speaking of Briarfest, before I entirely run out of medication and steam, let's do biters first. We are on lobsters, if you missed that earlier, for biter. So with a couple of exceptions, it'll be everybody that is in the lobster batch got or most people in the lobster batch got a heads up. I think that's how we're doing it. For confirming their address before we ship, we are confirming all addresses before we ship. And with Scuttles, because people are being invoiced, it's your PayPal email unless you tell me differently. So let me know. And then for Scuttles, we're on Iguanalings and I think part of that batch. So Jen and Tom had a week off. They're just getting back. So we'll get onto that batch and I will be kind of going along. And if you're not sure what batch you're in, send an email. I can look that up for you. And same thing goes for biter or Scuttle. We're trying to manage all the things. I'm not quite at the 1 month heads up, but I am trying to update on the website with the shipping. If you go to the, here, I'll show you. If you go to the main website, oh, I broke my thingy. Okay. So if you go to the main website, there right on the main page is ankle biter shipping batches. You click on that, tells you when I updated it last. It tells you what's shipped, what's currently shipping. So I've just moved from that to that. So today's the 19th. So batch lobster's starting to ship, and then we have a couple Komodos that are lagging, and then we'll be moving on to Megalodon. Estimated on March 5th, and that is because we have the Medallion Club medallion shipping out. So that complicates things. If I can get them out sooner, I will. And then we have Nile, crocodile, opossum, piranha, raving rabbit, shark. Let's see if I can make this smaller so you can actually see. Tasmanian devil, unagi, eland, velociraptor. And then we're done. And then for Scuttles, same kind of idea. Whoa! No. Same kind of idea. We've shipped antling, baby shark, chick, duckling, eaglet, froglet, goatling. Oh, and I'm behind on this. So hatchling is all out. Or mostly out. And then iguanaling we're moving on to... So, and I think I've given heads up to some of the joeys. So we might be a little bit ahead of schedule on that. And then I have estimated batches for Scuttle because Jen and Tom are shipping fairly consistently, so many a week. So I can predict what that's going to look like. Biters don't behave that well, so I can't really predict it as easily. So yeah, and then we should be by March, end of March on Goatling, and then done by May, I'd say. So we'll actually have some probably available before Briarfest, which will be exciting for people that want babies. And I'll do time payments as well, most likely. And then paid in full ones that'll ship right away because they're super awesome, super fast. Let's see. I've got my chat hiding back here. Bring it back out so I can see stuff. Let's see. New foals up here in Ohio. Excited. Babies. I love babies. Gonna need to order the foal this time, says Ellen. He's super cute. And he's gonna be so... TJ Hurst painted a Scuttle, and that's the only one I've seen so far. Hopefully we see more of those coming up painted. I know it's not easy to see them pop up as often as you'd think. Baby blanket Appaloosa. Still out. Kathleen still needs to order Briarfest tickets. I don't know when I think they'll keep those open for quite a while. Briar West is soon. So for those of you scuttling around trying to get that done. Hotel book, just need tickets. I ended up buying the online traditional ticket, and we'll see what else I end up with. I kind of want the Brighty, and that's my only need to have for Briarfest for the models, I think. I know a lot of people want Wells. I might do a surprise horse. We'll see. I like the decorator because they do have the Caves of Lascaux and Pharaoh. So those are kind of the other historical decorators that I really like. So I might end up having to have the Tiki, maybe. Broken enough. Why are we breaking things too? Because everything needs to be broken apparently to match my poor body. Everybody's vehicles need to work for tripping to Briarfest. Tripping out at Briarfest. If you've never been, you should go because it's quite the experience. I definitely enjoyed it. Let's see. Scootling. To Marianne, good morning. Need a cute little ass too. Yeah, he's so cute. I do love Brighty. We need more donkeys. We need to try and convince Briar they need to do more donkeys. So I was going to give you some peeks, at least sneak peeks auditorily. Clues. It's probably better. Auditory peeks is kind of weird. I showed you a butt last time that I can probably show you again. So, as it sits on my face, that was our peek from last time for something that's coming out. It might actually be out before Briarfest, but we will see. But, so that's your peek from last week, and it is the traditional horse that's meant to cart around tack. I have a Rio Rondo set here that I made. I can make tack too. Woo. It's really fun actually. So it's being fit specifically to work with the Rio Rondo saddle tree and scale wise with stuff that should fit the ish, and that'll keep it so that performance people have a fairly standard thing, like if you have existing tack that you can use it on this particular horse. I'm working with two different tack makers now on, that look like two tack makers now on making sure that it is tack friendly and versatile for performance. It should be able to compete in English Western driving, anything pretty well. So that'll be exciting. I've had a lot of people that do tack and performance and stuff that have asked for something that's a little bit more flexible. They don't want it to be too niche-y. I know because then you can use the same horse for all the things, which is kind of nice for performance people. It is a pose that should work well for all of that. It is a breed that should work fairly well for all of that. And it has a glorious bum, which is very important. Almost more important than it being tack friendly. I'm going to make sure the hair is all tack friendly, which will be cool. And just overall, it should be a really nice horse. I'm really excited to finish it up. I also have a venti-ish scale. I'm shitty with scales. I'm good at making things fit tack, generally, with the exception of wild hair and crazy stuff. But I'm not so good at, I don't generally exactly measure, say this is 15.2 hands and scale that down exactly to 1/20th or 1/22nd. That's not my jam. And then there's a ton of variation between individual horses, so you end up getting a lot of sizing stuff going on, which can, especially for people who have tack and try and show in performance, that makes it really hard to get tack that fits stuff because it's all over the board. It's either a little too big, a little too small, a little too whatever. It's like my porridge is a little too hot. My porridge is a little too cold. So this venti-ish scale thing, it's a little bigger than venti. And I'm curious to see, because I don't actually have a Chewy kicking around, because he's kind of the similar scale, maybe, to see how this compares to that. I can give you a hint that it is fantastical. So, Some people will really enjoy that, some people won't, but the performance-based thing is very realistic, and it is Pony Fest, so there needs to be some crazy, wild, not realistic things. So maybe that gets some of you excited. I cannot do a ton of hair on the realistic one just because of the nature of it, but the little one might have lots of hair. I don't know if that will give away anything or not, because there's lots of breeds that have lots of hair. It's probably not... There's actually, I have a set of pictures of an Arabian that had crazy hair. It was ridiculous. It had like the most ridiculously long... I've never seen an Arab with this much hair in my life. But can confirm this is not an Arab. If I'm going to give spoilers. And I really like the pose. It has a lot of emotion to it. I already have the head basically done on it, the neck basically done on it. The body's mostly fleshed out and the legs are roughed out. It does not yet have hair because that needs to come last, just for how it works. It will not have a base. It's going to stand on its own. I'm staring at it right now. Just to be extra, both of them actually, extra mean to you guys. And it's a nice space saver, just with the scale it is. Although space savings is kind of subjective considering. And then we'll see. I have more plans going for different medallions to do. I'm going to work with that same manufacturer to get some swag. The sticker books are something that everybody seemed to really like the idea of, so that you can put all of your awesome stickers in a sticker book, and then you can put them in the thing, and then you can move them other places if you want to and organize them how you want to instead of just putting them in a drawer like you do. Booty on the face. Oh, somebody wants to see the saddle more. Dun, 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 dun. I really like this particular color for leather dye. You can't really see it very well. And it has the little heart silver on it, and my hand's shaking. Shaking bacon. Super fun. I really enjoy making tack. It's kind of a nice break from stuff. I want to do at some point, a drastic custom that I've painted. So sculpting, painting, and do tack for it. So it's a triple threat. It'll be all sold together at some point. One day. I think that would be super fun. Christmas in July. It's going to be like Christmas. All the things. We have a guess of a feisty Shire unicorn. We have... Tiffany's gonna die because it's unicorn. Teresa says, stop it. Maddox scale. Yeah, pretty much. Hi, Laura. How's it going? We basically just need... it's whatever I decided to do. Yay. Are any of you actually really wrapped up in specific... I know there's people that are really strict about scale. Like down to the millimeter kind of thing. I kind of, from where I came into the hobby, it's nice to be able to get tack to fit stuff, so I don't like scaling things within a scale too much. So I'll kind of like homogenize the scale a little bit, so things fit your standard Rio Rondo type tack, because that size makes it a little bit easier for playing with them, which is kind of fun. I like you gotta play with your ponies. Hey, I wanted to show you something else. Laura will be excited for this. I'd never heard of this before Laura showed me this. So this is a Kratky, Kratky tomato, which means you put hydroponics, like hydroponic growing medium. And I have a tower garden, so we grow inside all the time. But you put these in like a little AeroGarden pod, and then they grow roots into the hydroponic solution, and then some of the roots will stay and actually breathe air because it stays above the water line and help keep the plant happy that way. And then it goes under a little grow bulb and it grows its whole life in this little jar, and you can have tomatoes inside or anything. You can grow greens and all sorts of stuff. So I think that's super, super fun. I now have a little grow light in the studio to give me extra happy light, because sometimes it gets a little bit dungeony. We have lots of windows down here, but it's still a challenge at times. And I love plants, and I love tomatoes, so it's like extra. I can have studio snacks. They just grow in my studio. Yeah, and Blue can snack on things too. That's why we have the tower garden, technically, is for the lizard, but yeah. So that's kind of neat. I'd never heard of it before. I'd heard of hydroponics before, but Kratky, you basically just put it all in a jar. You don't need any electricity. You can put those, like, put a tomato in a 5-gallon bucket and put it outside in the summertime, and it'll just, you never need to water it, which is the coolest thing. Well, not never, but very rarely do you need to do anything. If you set it up right, you don't need to water it. And I'm bad at remembering the watering thing some of the time, so it's kind of cool. So I think that's kind of neat. Let's see. Size doesn't matter. It's the model. That's kind of... I feel a little bad that we're not doing a lot of stuff in classic scale. But I might start polling more to see what everybody kind of wants for their collections. Because it's hard to know for me. I know Venti's kind of popular because it's a nice size. It's not too big. It's not too expensive. It's a nice size to paint. It's not too crazy. It's a nice cost to try and get it painted. And you can fit more of them on the shelf, which is good. You can hide them easier from husbands and other people, which is also kind of good. So I'll probably put some more polls out there just to see what everybody kind of likes, and it helps guide me a little bit, which is always a good thing because I get a little excited. So on that note, I'm going to check the chat just to see if there's anything else. Bacon. I made bacon chocolate chip square cookies the other day. They were delicious. You use bacon grease instead of butter. Who knew? By Dustin Hollis. He's the guy that's on, you've probably seen him on your Facebook feed. He goes on there and he does old recipes, and he's the cutest thing. He's like, eggies! He's like, moo juice! And he does the thing, and then he's either really surprised happily or not. And the bacon one surprised him, so I was like, I need to try this. I have all the ingredients. My husband always knows, says Kathleen. Mine, he brings in truck parts, I bring in ponies. It's fair, somewhere in there. I'm not strict about scale. I go by it's pretty. Yeah, kind of me too. Collectors, traditional or classic. Yeah, I think everybody's kind of all around there. It's kind of all over the place. Floof powder! I did like that. Maybe he's awesome. He's so fun. If you haven't seen him, let's see if I can find his page, because he's definitely worth looking up. David Hollis? Ugh. Bacon cookies. Pardon me while Dylan Hollis. Saw. Boop. Nope. That's baby. Dylan Hollis. This guy. If you have not seen him, where is it? Swedish meat ring. He's got reds. Cookies with bacon grease. This is the one. He's amazing. Even just his whole everything is fantastic. So if you have not enjoyed Dylan Hollis's stuff yet, you need to, because he's fantastic. People like that make me so happy. This is my chat. You can see that. I can see the thing. I'm gonna put it back on me. That's so weird. Demon Quiche was hilarious. I can't laugh too hard or it'll hurt. Fake pages that he's trying to get taken down. Yeah, B. Dylan Hollis. Sally Wright put it in the chat, so check it out. Lives in Wyoming. Previously on Bread Goes to Space. There's just so much awesome. Everything is so awesome. You gotta find the joys in the things, because there's so many people doing epic stuff, and if you put your attention on the people doing shitty stuff, or being dicks, or being trolls, then you're feeding them and not feeding the good things, and you should feed the good things. Bacon and grease cookies, because who knew? Question. Planning to send you Swedish candy. Ooh, I like candy. I need to know if I'm allergic to anything and if I have to pay customs fees. I am not allergic to anything, and I probably will have to pay customs fees on it, but that's okay. It's just it's GST, which is 5% of the value generally if it's sent by normal mail. We get customs for everything. I don't understand how we can send something to the US and the US gets no customs, and then the US sends something to us or anybody else does and we get customs. I think everybody in Europe's kind of the same. I think you all have to pay customs plus extra because there's VAT and they're charging everything up the wazoo. But I would love Swedish candies, Ellen. Thank you. Yeah, Sally put it in the comments. B. Dylan Hollis official. Perfect. Send the sauce. All right. On that note, I am fading, and I can only prop myself up with sheer motivation and willpower. I'm going to go take more pain meds, and I will try and get these biters going. Speaking of actually shipping things, it is a holiday here, and I confirmed with my shipper that they're actually not crossing the U.S. border until Tuesday. So stuff that goes out and you get tracking for now will actually not show up in their system. Normally it's a day or two anyway, but it won't show up until Tuesday. That's when they're crossing because of the holiday on both sides. We're getting a holiday here, it's Family Day, then President's Day for the US. And so it affects, we get pinged for both holidays when I put stuff over the border. So yeah, that's a thing. Everybody pretty well should be getting their tracking soon, and hopefully I will have more sneak peeks for you next time. There will be ones going up on the website for the Medallion Club. We're like a week away. I might start a week before, so next week. Maybe. Next week. By next stream. But I'll send an email out and let you guys know. Alright, on that note, I love you all. I'm still planning on doing a tutorial-y thingy, extra video that's not a stream live thing. A series. I'm working on different ideas for how to not take your work personally and kind of separate yourself out, which is actually something that helps in life, as well as art stuff. And I had a whole bunch of, like, a huge list of the things that I was going to talk about. But there's a whole bunch of different topics on how to kind of be a successful artist. I say that as I have stuff everywhere and I don't feel very successful. Speaking of that, how to deal with your own insecurity and see others' inspiring work as inspiring instead of demotivating. I know that's a challenge for a lot of people. It's really hard when art is so personal. So I'm going to hopefully have some little gems that I've picked up along the way that I can transfer to you guys to help make making art a little easier. So, and if not, you'll just enjoy it. That'll be me. And hopefully people enjoy that because it seems like you enjoy the streams, which I love. All right. I must go take pain medication before my brain melts. I love you all. Thank you so much. Don't feed trolls. Keep in mind where you're paying your attention coins to. They're going to the good things or the bad things. And if you're in any area affected by the crazy train stuff in Ohio or elsewhere, I hope everything goes well. And if you're not, make sure you have your 72-hour emergency kit of water and food and all the things, because you never know when you're going to need it. And I will see you guys the next time. Hopefully I will not have pulled muscles and I'll be able to laugh and enjoy things a little bit more. So, okay. Love you all. See you later. I can't see the thing. There's lights in my eyeballs. Right, look. They're right there. All right.